like many soldiers of the past of major conflicts of our country, I suspect that 2,000, almost 3,000 victims of terrorist attacks of 11 years ago, on that early September morning, would be the first to say to you that they are not heroes, but ordinary, everyday people thrown into extraordinary circumstances of no choice of their own. And yet, some of these ordinary people thrown into those extraordinary circumstances stepped up and acted in extraordinary ways. That is one of the things that we're here to celebrate as well as remember. When I think back to that day, I think of about three different people, or groups of people, I should say, that stand out in my mind the most. One of which our pastor spoke about this Sunday. It's the man who stood steadfast at the front entrance to one of the Twin Towers, holding open the doors that people poured out of it. Fear, panic, covered with dirt and soot. As the buildings blazed, he stood there. As people piled out to safety, and he was still standing there when the building crushed into a pile of rubble. I think of the firefighters, number two, and the police officers who rushed into those burning buildings, those burning infernos, if you know anything about the temperature, the plane fuel, the catalyst of all that. Rushed into those Twin Towers as people were falling and diving over each other to get out of the building. People just like these gentlemen standing in front of us were running in those buildings to offer their help, their skill, their hope, not thinking 1 second about their own lives. Well, that happens here in Pennsylvania. The difference is these gentlemen and ladies and our firefighters do this for no pay. The last group of individuals I saw that comes to my mind are the passengers of Flight 93, flying over probably the very building that I was trying to enter. These people were on their way to their job, on the way somewhere else, just trying to do their job, or maybe going somewhere to help someone else. But in turn, were thrown in a situation where they had to step up quick and try to do something to minimize another disaster. Their actions probably saved many lives because that plane was not headed for a field. Some of us feared it was heading to the state capitol or the federal building. That very building I was trying to push my way into. On the 12th, one of his friends came to him and said, "I want to need sort of a control unit." They gave him the flag. Now, work was obviously very busy at that site, and when they found a few moments, they made themselves a makeshift flagpole in front of the rubble, and they raised this flag. On the top of this flag are written the names of three of my father and I's close friends: Police Officer Ray Suarez, Firefighter Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer, and Firefighter Mike Mullen of Ladder 12. These are men that gave their all that day, and it served as a role model for me even before then, and even more now. Ever since I was in preschool, Mike Mullen was my role model. I've striven to be like him, brave, strong. He was not only a firefighter, he was an Army captain, and was trying a medic, helping people not only back home, but overseas when needed. Overall, these are men that I believe that each one of us should remember every day. I know they're in my thoughts. Not only these men, but the hundreds others that gave their lives that day, and the thousands more civilians that lost their lives. Hope they remain in our hearts and our minds every day for the longest time.